So Tribe, how y'all doing, fam? I was just getting a little message this afternoon from Spirit and feeling called to share. And really that's just Spirit wanting us to know that vulnerability is a strength and not a weakness. And I've been reflecting on this quite a bit over the last couple of weeks, and specifically when it comes to being vulnerable with myself and with what I'm feeling and what I'm going through. And it's difficult, it's hard, and Spirit just wants you guys to know, wants everybody, myself included, all of us to know that it's okay to feel whatever we're feeling, and that sharing and, putting your heart on your sleeve, of course, while taking care of yourself and while, maintaining strong boundaries, but by sharing your vulnerable truth, it's putting yourself in a position of power, of strength within yourself and to others, showing that you're willing and able to speak on your emotions and to reflect on the things that you're going through. And I've been going through a really intense period of mourning a version of myself. And it's been heavy. There's been a lot of old patterns and kind of like guilts and shames and all of these reflections of different parts of myself and different versions that I have been through the years. And it makes me realize how much these versions of myself hadn't been held in love and acceptance, and how they didn't have a safe space. And I always felt like I had to hide these parts of myself. And man, it's been powerful just to reflect and to sit with all these different versions and to make sure that they know that I love them and that they didn't do anything wrong, and how thankful I am for everything that we've been through together. For all of the lessons, people like to call them mistakes, but I look at it as gifts, as little presents from the divine. Whenever you do something that doesn't align with who it is that your soul is here to represent, you feel that within your heart, and I think it's so important to feel that when it happens, and to provide a safe, loving space that, this is okay, and thank you for helping me to see what is important to me, and not to condemn yourself. We all have been through some crazy stuff. I know I have, and I'm sure all of you have. And I think it's all a beautiful part of this experience of life, and that it's important, that we're willing to go into the depths of ourselves and understand where that pain is, where the parts of you that need help are, and being able to hold a safe, loving space for yourself, first and foremost. You know, being your own best friend, being the person you wish would have been there through whatever struggles you were going through when, you know, your inner child, through any traumas, you being there to protect them and to support them and to let them know that you will always be there for them, for any part of yourself along the journey. So yeah, a little emotional, but it's a beautiful thing, and I'm thankful for it. And Spirit just wants me to touch on it again, that vulnerability is not a weakness, it is a strength. And through being vulnerable with ourselves and with others, we are able to better understand ourselves and what we're going through. Emotions that rise within us are messengers that will lead us to our healing. That's why it's so important not to push them away. And the thing is, when we push away parts of ourselves that we don't like, or that we've had kind of resentment against in phases of our life, it almost makes them stronger and more difficult to keep out of our life. So it's like the more you push it away, the stronger the pull is, the magnetism is it for it to break back into our life in an unconscious way, because you're pushing it into the unconscious realm, into the unconscious awareness. And by not accepting those parts of ourselves, by not holding a conscious, present, loving awareness with these parts of ourselves, it pushes them into the depths and the unknown and the subconscious ocean within ourselves. It doesn't disappear. It just pushes it to a place where we're not visibly conscious of it. And in doing so, it creates like a rubber band, like a slingshot effect. The farther you try to push it away, the stronger the rebound for it to bounce back into your life in some manner or form. And normally when it's this unconscious expression and representation of these things, that's when the most harm and the most negative impact will come into our life. Which is just touching in again why it's so important to be vulnerable with ourselves and what we're going through. You know, and myself personally right now, it's looking at all of these chapters. I feel like it's I just ended like the first book of my life, and I'm rereading it before I start the second chapter, the sequel, you know. Not the second chapter, but the second book, the sequel. And it's been difficult. It has. Letting go of parts of myself that were like defense mechanisms to get me through. And it's like those part of myself, they want to protect me. So they're like, no, you don't worry about this. We got this. We got you. I'm like, brothers, it's safe for me now to be the person that I want to be the person that I'm called to be. So if you're going through a tough time right now, energetically, I know there's kind of a lot going on, especially we're coming into this final new moon of the year. And Spirit is really recommending that we be present with ourselves, with all our vulnerabilities, with our emotions, with whatever's rising up. And that this is the best time that we have to write these things out, to create a ceremony of this, and to let the universe know, what chapters, what parts of ourself that we're going to be releasing, and to write out our intentions for the new year and what we want out of this experience, to come into a conscious co-creation with the universe. And it is quite literally magic, writing our intentions out and speaking them out loud to the universe. It's called spelling for a reason. It's casting spells with our intentions, with the way that we write, with just about anything that we do. It's magic, and it's our intention behind it and the energy that we put out. It creates a projection of our manifestation based on our beliefs and based on what we believe is possible. So Spirit is just asking that we really, over today, and then tomorrow afternoon is when the new moon, I believe, is coming in about 5:30 tomorrow afternoon. But tomorrow night is the new moon, the December 30th. And this is one of the best times of the year, to reflect, to have gratitude, to be vulnerable with ourselves, and to really think about what we want for this next year, what's important to us, how we can be a better vessel for the Spirit to work through us, how we can uncouple and unhook these energetic attachments that we may have to lower vibrational energies in our life that are kind of siphoning off our energy from us, our ability to be productive and to do the things that the Spirit is asking us to do. So I just want to send out my gratitude and my love and light and my prayers and blessings and all the good things to each and every one of you. And I want you to know that you are loved more than you can possibly imagine, and that anything that you're going through or anything that you hold on to about yourself, I've said this before many times, I'll say it again many times, it's time to forgive ourselves. From the Spirit, from the Most High God, you are already forgiven and encouraged every step of the way. You are never condemned. And when Spirit puts us through these things, it's always trying to help us. Everything is always happening for our highest good, even if it's difficult for us to see at the time. So please, brothers and sisters, take a second and be with yourself and offer yourself that forgiveness. So often that a lot of us are very good at forgiving others, but when it comes to ourselves, we hold these grudges against ourselves. So I just want you to know that you didn't do anything wrong. Whatever you did, whatever you've been through, whatever it is that's weighing on you, it's okay to put it down. It's okay to take the lessons that we learned from that and to release it. And that really just steps back to being vulnerable with ourselves and open with our emotions, with our heart, with our struggles, with everything that we've been through. And, providing a safe space where we can connect with our inner child to see through all these different iterations of ourselves what we need and what can we do to better support those parts of ourselves. So I love y'all so very much, and blessings from your boy. and the big guy. I love you. Aho mitakuyasin.